Annyeong! I thought I'd make this video as a quick kind of update. Sorry, my hair's a mess. Um, because I've not really spoken about spaces really, and with like photos and stuff for like working and teaching. So you've got two main classrooms, and you also have classrooms that you can go to for analysing, which are basically got big round tables, and they're kind of like the conference rooms at the academy. And you usually go and sit in there if you're going to have a production meeting or whatever. You've got two main classrooms, one in the upper and middle school and one in the village school. I will show pictures of them here. So you can see they are huge. They're really big rooms, great facilities, and in the upper school they actually have access to lights, which means that the kids can actually learn a little bit of understanding about the lights and the technical side of theatre, which is great. The other facilities they have to do with this is a small costume store up above where the main theatre is. I don't have a picture of that because it's not very well organised yet, but I think when they get more costumes and have done more shows, it'll become a really good facility for the school. It's just got, tall rails, kind of like in our costume store, but a lot smaller. But it's still a great facility for the kids because it means they can actually have access to props and costume. So lately we've been working on Mulan, which has been working in the black box, which is one I showed you in the previous video. It's a great space, great facility, but now we've started to move so that the it's going to be out of house because the main theatre is not available. So we just went in there today, and it's really been an interesting experience because I keep having to remind myself that I'm working with children and I'm not working with adults, and that they're going to have different levels of ability, which is something I have to learn anyway, because even with actors, in the conservatoire there's different levels and there's different understandings of theatre and everything, so I think it's quite a good thing for me to learn, but I still have to keep reminding myself that, especially when there's so much going on. Rose, Alex and Grace have all been amazing to work with. They've all been really insightful into kind of how to teach and how to kind of organise and deal with the kids. We've had some really good rehearsals. It's just trying to keep them entertained and trying not to distract them from the main action. That's a real challenge. I really enjoyed working with them. Hopefully everything will kind of come together, which it seems to be. I'll show some pictures of the rehearsals that we've been going through. Another thing that I've been starting to do is to teach a little bit about how to make props and how to kind of go about thinking about making a prop. So I started with the helmets that are going to be used for Mulan. I started with a basic idea of working from the base up, like you would with any prop, and how to kind of go about, with the facilities available, of how to create it. So I made it out of cardboard, making up the framework and out of the cardboard, and then putting the stuff you use on casts. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. The stuff you just dip in water and it sets hard. It's not ideal for painting on because it's got a texture to it, but it's still strong enough and will be good enough to be on stage. And my only concern is that it might crack at some point. It shouldn't because of the way I've done it, but I'm still a bit concerned. But I tried to kind of speak to the kids about the idea that if you don't have a good foundation, then your prop isn't going to work, because you need a solid foundation, a good foundation for it to be built up from. But they also need to consider how many times this prop's going to be used, how many they need to make, and how that can affect how you make that prop. So I've tried to, encourage them to sort of think of different ways that they could actually make this prop This way is just more cost effective and it's quicker. But I've said to them in some situations you'll have more time. So I've been trying to kind of implement that, and I'll show some pictures of the helmet. I'm working on painting it tomorrow, so that'll be a big job for me. I think that'll kind of wrap it up for today. I'm going to try and get some videos of the rehearsals in the theatre that we've got just now, and just kind of get some footage of what I've been up to. Anyway, I'll log off for tonight because I've got a lot of work to do, and I'll see you all soon. Ciao!